Good evening, dear participants and our today's resource person, Dr. Sumanta Dutta sir. My name is Chandanvi. I am a research scholar from Department of Management Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar. We welcome you all in our capacity building program on research and publication ethics, organized by Department of Management Sciences, MGCU. Our today's session is on redundant publications, duplicate and overlapping publications, Salami Slicing. Our today's esteemed resource person has already joined us, Dr. Sumanta Datta sir. He is Assistant Professor, Postgraduate Department of Commerce, St. Xaviers College, Kolkata. Before beginning this session, I will request Honorable Dr. Alka Lalhal ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Sciences, to welcome our today's eminent speaker. But before that, it will be an honor if I could share a few words about our speaker. Sir, Dr. Sumanta Datta sir is presently associated with the Postgraduate and Research Department of Commerce, St. Xaviers College, Kolkata. He has over 19 years of experience in teaching and research. He has contributed 3 edited books, 1 case book, and 1 research book from a reputed publishing house from India. He has also contributed more than 40 research papers in various national and international journals. His work has been cited well both in SSR and top 10 download list as well as in Google Scholar. For his outstanding contribution in the field of marketing research, he got the National Education Leadership Award in 2019. He also obtained the Teaching and Research Award 2020 and the Outstanding Postgraduate Faculty Mentoring Award 2020-2021. Sir, your area of interest is corporate strategy, sustainable business reporting, and strategic marketing. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chandan. So I would, at the outset, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed resource person for this session, Dr. Sumant Datta sir, in this capacity development program. On behalf of Department of Management Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, I extend a heartfelt welcome to you, sir. And thank you so much for sparing your valuable time for us. I'm sure that the participants will have much to learn from you, from your experience, from the vast experience and research that you have. The students will take away from that and they'll incorporate it in their own research endeavors. So I'll not take more time. I'll hand the session over to you. Once again, welcome you. I welcome you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. A very warm welcome that you have given, ma'am. Thanks to the Department of Management, the Mahatma Gandhi Central University, particularly Pabnesh sir. He is a very good friend of mine and having a very good coordination with Pabnesh sir. I'm also thankful to Chandan and Siddhartha. Over a long period of time, we have an association. They have communicated me over several reasons. So thanks to all. Thanks for your extended support all the time. And to Alka ma'am for support that we are getting. Okay, just a minute. 1 minute time.
The participants have joined, Chandan, right?
Yeah, and for this, I'm grateful to the Mahatma Gandhi Central University for providing me this opportunity in this context. I'm thankful to all, and with this, I'm taking over the session. And I start the session. Allow me 1 or 2 minute time so that I can set my PowerPoint accordingly. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sharing my screen. If you can see my PowerPoint, just tell me. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute. Okay, now okay, I think I am audible to all of you. In this 2-week capacity building program, which was organized by the Department of Management Science, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, They have given me the responsibility to talk about duplicate, overlapping publication and salami slicing. In fact, that is a portion that is also being included by the UGC, which is a recommended coursework for the PhD scholar. So that is why before we start and we try to enter into this particular portion, how as a scholar or how as a faculty member we can taken care of those issues. I will explain the entire situation with the help of 7 possible cases. Okay, to deal with this duplicate, overlapping, publication and salami slicing. I hope by the end of the session you can interact with me and we will have a fruitful discussion on this issue. Now, before we start, I try to focus on our new education policy because I cannot directly enter into this particular duplicate publication until and unless we understand the backdrop of it. Now, what happened here, that if we go by the new education policy, some part of it, only certain portion I try to highlight, only 3 part, that if you are a researcher, automatically why you are going for research? Because you are looking for an opportunity. The opportunity of teaching, the opportunity of research in a central or state-funded university. So now if we think about this new education policy, 2020, you have seen that in the several para, it was written that central is thinking, the education policy is thinking about to create a new form of a higher educational institution. And this new form of higher educational institution, it can be categorized into 3 possible ways: research intensive university, teaching university, and autonomous degree granting colleges. Even it is being specified in this one para that there is a chance that the colleges which are under a state affiliated university can automatically, if they pass through all the process, can get the accreditation accordingly. Automatically, there is a chance they become an autonomous degree granting colleges. In a concerted national effort, we are also thinking to create a MERU, a multidisciplinary education and research university in India, at par with IITs and IIMs. Now, if we coming to the another side of it, now you have seen very carefully that the central to this new education policy is also thinking about to become to put forth the 4 years undergraduate program with research. So that means the 4 years undergraduate program, it must have a research intensive. If you are 3 years undergraduate program, automatically later on you have to go for 2 years postgraduate program where the last year totally dedicated for research. That means directly, indirectly, we have a tendency towards creating a new research-based culture in India, and it will very much helpful for us, the thinkers, the current thinkers like all of you who are present in the session. You can think in that particular way and create a new uh, era of research in Indian academic scenario. So with this, so that means we try to focus on research, but when we are doing research, automatically certain part, some issues that we must take care of. That is the ethical side of research. And that is why this session will try to navigate some of the portion which is given by your university to me to discuss in this given session. Now you think always, see, you are a researcher, you try to write papers. Because if I ask you this question that what you want to write, okay, sometimes you don't have any clue. Sir, I can write a paper. Whether you want to write an article, whether you write to a research paper, whether you write to a working paper, whether you write to a monograph. Because if that part is not being clear, automatically you don't understand that knowingly, unknowingly, you are entered into the spectrum of this duplicate, overlapping publication process. So, are it clear to all of you? Since you are a researcher, you can say, sir, my main objective is to go for submitting my dissertation as early as possible. Okay, or completion of my FPM program. Okay, agreed. You can also tell me that, sir, while doing my dissertation, and I have to publish 2 papers, and that papers I have in the UGC care or maybe in the Scopus listed that I have to submit along with in the portion. So automatically you are thinking about writing a research paper, research-based paper. But there is some other things that also you can incorporate. Sometimes by virtue of that, you can avoid the problem of this, the duplicate, the overlapping, and so many things. That means we can say in general, because since it is assumed that before the session start, we are not aware of this issue. So after that, the session we can aware of. So let's assume that we are not aware of. So what we can do, we can try to identify those areas, what we can write actually. So we can write a monograph, we can write a working paper, we can write a short communication to the editor that you can write. So these are the things you should be very clear in your mind what you want to write. Sometimes what happens as a researcher, you have to go through various research paper along with some new books. You have to read some books which is recently published. Why not? You can review some good book, up the book which was launched very recently in the market. Go through the book and review the book and submit the review in a very good journal, so that down the line the book review can be published in a reputed journal as in a book review session. Why not? You are developing, when you are undertaking some kind of research, parallel research along with your mainstream research for the part focusing on dissertation, you can write a monograph. If you write a monograph, you are undertaken as a study and you have completed the study successfully. What you can do, you along with your mentor can upload this particular monograph in your departmental web link. Okay, in the and creating a new session called monograph session section. So that is also very important. We have seen this type of monograph is very present in some of the institute. Okay, so if you can see the Madras School of Economics, where we have seen this kind of monograph was there. You can also write a working paper, because it is good to avoid such kind of things, this duplicate and overlapping publication process. You can write a working paper. Okay, in respect of working paper, with the paper that you have initially started, it has not been completed. Monograph is totally complete in all sense. Working paper, the initial investigation that you have started. What you can do, you can upload this particular working paper under the head working paper series in your institutional web link. Okay, along with including the emblem of this your institutional logo and departmental ID. So what happened then? Automatically, when the other people will, why you are uploading that? Because you are uploading only to get the feedback from the academicians. You are trying to get feedback from industrialists and other fellow peer members. Once you get the feedback, there is a chance automatically that you can convert, after receiving the feedback from several persons, you can convert this working paper into a full length paper. Later on, what you can do, you can submit the paper for publication in a Scopus listed journal, in a Web of Science listed journal, or you can put this particular thing or present the particular working paper in a national conference or international conference. It is up to you. So this part is very need to be understood, because we are in the process of a research cycle. We are trying to developing a research culture, because that is the most important thing, because we have curiosity, and this curiosity and this creating an urge within us, and that is the major characteristics of human. Okay, so what we need a research based uh, intensive culture, where we can write, we can explore various of in the areas where we can write based on our own knowledge and based on our knowledge that we have gained so far. Automatically, with this, automatically, if we follow this footprint, there is a chance to some extent we can avoid some of the unethical practice for which we are gathered today. Now, Now we can see, suppose you can see that we know that there are so many theses are available. If you go by the current development of the Shodh Ganga and the top 5 or 6, I'm taking just a minute. I'm uh, due to a emergency call I'm getting from my college, so I'm just holding on as a 1 or 2 minutes.
No issue, sir. No issue. I will request our esteemed participants, if you have any question or doubt, you can drop your questions or queries in the chat box. In the end of the session, we will take those questions so that Sir can answer it. Apart from today's topic, if you have anything else you can ask from Sir related to your research work also. The floor will be open for any kind of questions related to your research work also. So you can ask any questions, not only related to today's topic itself.
Oh, thank you, Chandan. I am extremely sorry because see,
It's,
parallelly our college
it's okay,
classes,
sir. It's okay. No issue.
I am
Please
also
continue, sir.
responsible for that also. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now you can see that we have Shodh Ganga is available. Now you can see that when you are writing a paper, when you are developing your thesis, always keep in mind that whether the thesis is overlapping or not. That is also you have to see. That you can see because earlier what happened when we have to go physically to our university and to see the thesis, which is available hard copy form. But see, hard copy form I cannot get the others. Now you have a chance. I have uploaded the screen that I have shared is a very recently, they recently updated till yesterday. Okay, see the number of theses available. So from the thesis, what is your objective as a researcher when you're doing your dissertation? Is there any overlapping? Is there any overlapping of the title? Same thing that already someone has done, you are doing the same thing. So you you can make a check from the metadata that is available with us. That is also helpful for us to use to Shodh Ganga as a maximum possible level. If you give time, your valuable time, there is a chance automatically we can utilize this Shodh Ganga for the benefit of our. Now, most important thing when you are talking about this issue, that I'm coming that's all the cases slowly one by one. Okay. Now you think about a situation that what is our basic purpose? Now our basic purpose is to create because we have an inquisitiveness, we have a curiosity, and that is why we are looking for something. Okay, and that strives us to gain knowledge. It directs us to because I have curiosity, and that is why I'm searching for something. That curiosity is a basic fundamental form of research. So, what is most important that we have to develop a particular research-based culture. If this culture is not there, automatically it will create a problem for us. And in this context, you know that what is the thing that we talk about sometimes the misconduct. Okay, that which one is misconduct, which one is not according to the norms. Okay, but I can say one thing. See, this misconduct can happen at any stage of your research cycle. I have not, because since my topic is not given in that way, so I cannot incorporate some of the things that I can also show to you. Okay, because of I cannot dilute myself from the given point. But what I mean to say, suppose the particular thing that even in the selection of the title, misconduct can originate. Even at the time of reviewing the literature, such misconduct can happen. So you cannot identify always. Knowingly or unknowingly, you can involve in the process of this misconduct. Okay. So it is being that is why I have written this point that misconduct from the viewpoint of a researcher can happen at any stage of your research journey. Okay. So what is most important that we have to maintain the research integrity at every stage of our research journey. And we know that we have a helping hand that we are getting some kind of guideline from the UGC from time to time to look after this particular issue. And that is why most important thing that strike our mind that whether to what possible extent we are able to manage our academic integrity. Such academic integrity is always not only restricted to the academic work which was undertaken by a research scholar or by an academician or a fellow member. Okay, it must also incorporate some of the other administrative work as well. Okay, like say for example, I can give a very simple example when we talk about plagiarism. Okay, so do we have a proper evaluative system of plagiarism for checking the final thesis of the student? Do we follow this uniformity across all the universities? Whether the policy of plagiarism checking is aligned with the guideline which was given by the UGC? Whether we have a departmental inquiry or not? So all those things will come as a part of this academic integrity. So when we talk about malpractice, when we talk about research-based misconduct, we also must take into consideration this academic integrity. To what extent the department, the institution, the universities are trying to make this academic integrity so that research scholars are much aware of. That is the most important part of us. Because otherwise, whether I am doing wrong or not, how I can judge? Whether that is why it is a very good initiative taken by the Mahatma Gandhi Central University to inculcate the culture of ethical side of research through this capacity development program. Now we are coming to the next part, which is called scientific misconduct. Now, what is scientific misconduct? Now, scientific misconduct, we can say, is on rise. Okay, people are involved in the process of this scientific misconduct. Now, you can ask me, sir, what is scientific misconduct? Okay, because now, if you're working in the academic institution as a faculty member, or whether you are acting as a research scholar in a particular department, you have a pressure. Okay, you have a pressure, you have a constant pressure from your mentor, from your department to publish. If you're a faculty, then you have to publish at least 2-3 papers every year to enhance your own credibility in your institution, as well as to promote yourself and to showcase yourself that you are a vibrant researcher, beside all your academic as well as administrative work. But now arises the question, now it is being stated that you have to publish in the UGC care, you have to publish in the Scopus and Web of Science. But it takes some time. It cannot be done. It is not a cup of tea. So it takes some time. So how we can deal with this situation? Automatically, then to write the papers, we are involved in the process of some misconduct. And that is create a problem for us. So there are two important terms: difficulty of publication right now in a good Scopus listed journal, or because they need some time to review your papers, and there is a constant pressure that we are getting to publish in academia. And that is why this type of misconduct, scientific misconduct, is on rise. Now, when we talk about the scientific misconduct, okay, now certain things we must take care of. Which one is scientific? Whether we are following a verifiable and honest method while proposing, performing, and evaluating, because all those things have an impact on those duplicate, overlapping, and salami slicing. Are we properly reporting the matter by following all the rules, regulation, and guideline? If not, then we are not following our appropriate scientific code of conduct according to the institutional laws and bylaws. Okay, so this is very important for us to understand. Now, you know that when we talk about this scientific misconduct, definitely we have to talk about the research fraud. So what is research fraud? Because we know in today's world, innovation and advancement is one of the two important parameters that create a dynamism and substantial comprehensible social change. They bring some changes. But fraud is there. Okay, now what is fraud? Fraud is one kind of scientific misconduct. Research fraud is a one part of the scientific misconduct where you taken care of three important major elements, which was identified the US federal policy, that is Office of the Research Integrity United States. Office of Research Integrity United States and their Department of Health and Human Service identify the categorization of research fraud into three possible manners: fabrication, falsification, and the plagiarism issue. So this is one of the important thing. Now we are coming one by one. What are those issues and how these are related with our present topic? Okay. Now what is fabrication and falsification and plagiarism? Now when we talk about fabrication, means you are making up of your research data. Okay, based on fabricating it. You have collected sample of 100, you are making it 200. Okay, fabricate, you fabricating the data. Okay, the research data and their result. You are manipulating the result. Okay, so falsification means it can be of various type. You can manipulate the image. You can the image that you have taken. You can take in some other image and put it as of your own. You can manipulate the data. You can manipulate some of the equipments and the process. And last but not least, the plagiarism. Okay, the representation of the other's idea as of your own. By taking something entirely, by copying it from others, putting it as of your own. Okay, so research fraud, as per the US Integrity, Office of Research Integrity, United States, this is the three possible type of research fraud that took place. So that is why what happened. Now you know the concept of this plagiarism, because under research fraud, this is one important thing. Now, what is fraud? It is an academic dishonesty. Okay. Now, what is academic dishonesty and breach of ethics? Okay. Now, in that case, what happened? You have taken from others some published and unpublished ideas and words that you have taken. And once you taken, you have not given appropriate recognition of the original creator. That means it is called without any kind of attribution, without any kind of recognition. You are not recognizing the original creator. You are incorporating in such a manner, it looks like that you have written these particular words, you have written the phrase, even the sentence. Or in some cases, you have not taken adequate permission as per the the Creative Commons license is concerned. Okay, so then it becomes a plagiarism. Now, how this plagiarism or this portion is also related, we will come into the cases, the 7 cases come one by one. Now see, what are the various possible types of plagiarism that we have? We have 5 possible types of plagiarism. You are very busy, you're from departmental level, it is being notified in the notice board that you have to submit your first assignment, those who are already enrolled in the PhD program, that what is their progress. So what you have done, you are going for a patchwork plagiarism. You have copied from several material, several research paper, and rearrange it in a form of material, okay, without any kind of acknowledging the original creator. That means this kind of patchwork, that is collecting from several sources and rearrange the material and submit it as of your own, is a patchwork plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is also plagiarism. Okay, now what is self-plagiarism? Suppose I have written one paper earlier and now I am working on the same paper and someone has asked me, sir, please submit one paper. So what I have in hurry, I forget and I taken something, the entire material from most of the material from my earlier paper, and I have incorporated something new and submit. The portion that I have taken is also a self-plagiarism. I can take something with a maximum of 40 to, okay, less than 40 and more than 40 words as per the APA style is concerned. But if more we take, if we take more than less than 40 words, okay, within double quote we have to write. More than 40 words when we are taking, we have to put in a separate paragraph. Okay, but when we are taking all the things, most of the material, that is more than 40 words, it is nothing but one kind of self-plagiarism. Okay. Direct plagiarism means you have taken word by word for word transcription, okay, of a section. You have taken someone's. Again, that means you are taking some word by word copy. It is somehow different from the patchwork. Okay, so you have taken something word by word and put it as of your sentence that you have made. Or suppose you are writing an introduction part of your thesis and you have taken the most of the part from someone else because it looks very authentic. That is why you have taken. You have shown your mentor, it is very difficult for the mentor that where from you have taken, it is very difficult for him or her to judge. Direct plagiarism. Accidental plagiarism. This is very interesting, accidental plagiarism. Suppose you are going through a particular paper and you read a one paper where you have came across a one beautiful phrase. But you after that, what happened that you forget the name of the paper that you have read so far, but you can remember the phrase. So when you are writing when you are writing your thesis, what happened? You knowingly or unknowingly, particularly it is unknowingly or unintentionally, you have incorporated the phrase as if that is a phrase that strike your mind and it's the first time that someone is writing the phrase. Actually, it is not. You forget the particular word and phrase that you have learned so far from a book, from a reference book, or from a journal paper. But you forget that thing and you incorporate it as of your own. That is called accidental plagiarism. Last one is a mosaic plagiarism. It happens when researchers borrow phrases from you have taken some phrases, some certain part of it. That phrases is very important. You cannot change it. What you have done, okay, let's take it because it is written in such a way. You know, somehow I cannot rephrase it. So take it and put it as of my own. Mosaic plagiarism. All are illegal. All are if if you fall into the practice, automatically it will redirect you towards this duplicate and overlapping publication process. Okay, so I am not going this detailing of this particular level because all of you are aware of this level, because for the scholars this level has been specified by the UGC as per their extraordinary guideline 2018 is concerned 0123. Okay, so we must be aware of that. Now what happened to this? When we have a level, automatically we need to maintain the academic integrity. We need to have, if we have a department and if we have a research scholar in my department, we definitely required a guideline which is also given by the UGC in 2018, along with the guideline which is specifically provided the entire detailing about plagiarism, where they have specified that in the departmental level and institutional level, two type of panel of board member we have to create. That is called departmental academic integrity panel and institutional academic integrity panel, who look after all sort of practices, plagiarized portion, duplicate, overlapping publication, all those related matter. Okay, so, and they will decide what is the course of action the committee will decide regarding in respect of a scholar, in respect of a faculty member. So this is the thing that we must learn regarding this portion. Now, what are those two important things that is becomes a ready reckoner for us to use it for the purpose of managing our research propaganda in a proper direction without taking help of any unethical practices? These two are the guidance document of good academic research practice, which is also known as GARP, Good Academic Research Practice, which was published by the UGC University Grant Commission in September 2020. And also the another act which was published by the UGC in their 2018 by virtue of a special or extraordinary gazette, the particular called Promotion of Academic Integrity and Prevention of Plagiarism in Higher Educational Institution Regulation 2018. This part you can take as a major document for the purpose of managing, particularly this one, the first one, this new document which was published in September 2020, the GARP, Good Academic Research Practices, is considered to be one of the new document in the hands of institution to carry forward to frame the rules and regulation and guideline for the scholars. Now we are coming to this ethical side. What is then how we can go for? If I think about publication, what I can do, which one is acceptable, which is not acceptable. This acceptable and unacceptable behavior of a scholar or a faculty member is being reflected in the process of this publication ethics. So now we are coming to this domain of this publication ethics and how we can deal with this situation with the help of few cases. Case one. Case one is talk about the multiple submission. Okay. Now it is totally unethical on the part of a scholar, even on the part of a teacher, faculty members, to submit the same manuscript to more than one journal at the same time. I don't have too much time. Okay, I do not have too much time. So what I will do? Okay, I have sent the paper in a national conference organized by our local institute or university, and I parallelly submit the paper to some other international conference. Same paper I have put in one national conference, one international conference, or maybe in a one national journal and one international simultaneously at the same time. Okay, because I expect that once I submit, they automatically give me the reply, yes, your paper has been accepted. But it is not possible. So if you put in a very good journal, it will take some time. Okay, at least more than 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It depends on the category and the characteristics of the journal and the reviewer board. What happened then? What happened then? So I don't waste my time. Parallelly, I have sent. Okay, I thought that I don't. Okay, what is wrong with that? I can send. I can accept the response. If whom I will get the early response, I will accept that, and I will reject that the second one. But what you have done knowingly or unknowingly is the concept of multiple submission. And as per the COPE, Committee on Publication Ethics, you have done an unethical practice in the field of publication. This is case one. So, what is my suggestion? Send a paper to a journal, wait for their response. If they require that you have to revise the paper, do it accordingly. If they said we will not publish, the paper is not being accepted for publication, once you receive this kind of confirmation mail from them, then only you can, it means that you can, that from that time onwards, you can withdraw the paper and you can submit the paper to some other journal. That is legal. But otherwise, the earlier one is totally illegal. So that is a case of multiple submission. Coming to the redundant publication. Sometimes it is also known as duplicate publication. Okay, that overlap substantially with one already published in print or electronic form. Sometimes it is called redundant, sometimes it is called duplicate, sometimes it is called repetitive publication. It means overlapping of substantially, that is overlap substantially with one already published, a particular paper already published in print or electronic format. Okay, actually this concept which was given by the International Committee of Medical Journal Editors in 2004. So they define in that possible way. So it means an overlapping with one already published in print or in electronic form, which was given by International Committee of Medical Journal Editors in 2004. Now, what is redundant publication? I am in the speed. I want to portray myself. I am a vibrant researcher. And that is why what happened? I am what happened? I am developing papers. How I am developing papers? I am developing 2 or more papers. Okay, without full cross reference, without any kind of cross reference. I'm using the same hypothesis in both the paper. I'm using the same data in both the paper, same sample size in both the paper, identical methodology in the same, only and similar conclusion. So that means only maybe there is a chance that you have changed only the title. Okay, but entire body of the paper remains same. What you want to portray others? You're portraying that I am a vibrant researcher. I'm publishing more than 10 papers in a year. Okay, but that is not desirable. So that is called a redundant publication. Okay, that is totally considered to be an illegal from the viewpoint of COPE, Committee on Publication Ethics. Okay, so now what happened then? If when we talk about this redundant publication, okay, sometimes we the authors, we the researcher, okay, are in problem that how it leads to redundant publication. Now, there are out of these 4 possible scenarios, 3 is more important. Okay, 4 is there, but out of these 3 is considered to be more important. Like if I am a postgraduate student or if I am a research scholar publishing paper from his and her dissertation. Okay, so that means I am publishing a paper with same thing, same data, same thing we have submitted. Okay, yeah, I have submitted 2 papers based on the same data same respondent, same interpretation, same statistical tool I have used without any change. It is a redundant publication. A researcher reporting on a longitudinal program of a study. Suppose your study is based on for a period of 1 year. So first, what you have done, you have taken for the first 6 months, then for the second 6 months, published to paper. Okay, redundant publication. Actually, your study is based on 1 year, but you have, for the purpose of sake of publication, you have subdivided it. Longitudinal. An author writing in various language. Okay, suppose you have published a paper in English, you have published the same paper, keeping all the material in your own local language, in your local journal. Okay, it is also a very reputed journal, but publishing in a in their local language. So what you have done, suppose you are publishing in English and you also publish the same thing in Bengali. So what happened? No one can trace. So what actually you have done, you have gone for a redundant publication. Okay. So that is the thing, most important thing. Or if the fourth option is there that I have not incorporated. As an author, as a researcher, you can writing for various audience, different audience. Same paper you have given for a particular group of people. Now you have just modified certain things and you put the paper in some other group of people. So actually what you are doing, that is called redundant publication. That is actually nothing but a wastage of time because it creates some problem for us. What type of problem? The people who are reviewing your paper, nothing but it creates a waste of time to those editors. Actually, it flaws the process of meta-analysis. Suppose I am a researcher, I am a next generation researcher after you. So what I will see, when I go through the particular ISBN book published by a college where your paper was there, I have gone through another paper that you have written. So once I gone through it, I have seen, I forget actually the edited book, that the paper that I got from the edited book about which was written by you and the paper, journal paper that you have published. Okay, so both are same. So what does it mean when I am evaluating the papers of your? So that is a meta-analysis when I'm doing. It becomes a flawless. So these are flawed. That is lead to a meta-analysis. It distorts the academic reward system. What does it mean? What does it mean that distorting the academic reward system? Yes, you can show others that yes, I'm a vibrant researcher, but actually the reward mechanism, academic reward mechanism, becomes distorted. Okay, once people understand that that particular person always published two papers based on the same thing, automatically institution will think twice before giving reward to some other faculty members based on the behavior of a particular Professor X. It also lead to an infringement of the Copyright Act. Okay. So all those problems originate if you go for this duplicate publication. So better, the suggestion is that to avoid such kind of redundant publication, because redundant publication always creates some problem in the process of the scientific literature base that we have done. You know, in the quantity, if we go for a qualitative study, there's one such new tools are available called bibliometric analysis. Okay, but that means it is one kind of meta-analysis that we can do. Suppose you are a researcher, you are writing your thesis, and you are thinking about why not I can write a paper from my research. So at that time, what happened? You can go for it. So in that case, what happened? You can go for, why not? You can, based on the papers that you have collected, so for 50 papers or 60 papers, you can go for this bibliometric analysis. It should be a new tool. You can publish a very good paper and that you can also show as a part of your research. Okay, that is very important thing. Coming to the duplicate and overlapping publication. Okay, this redundant, duplicate, repeated occurs. Okay, so that means when you are doing this kind of duplicate and overlapping publication, so redundant publication, when it is more publication, same thing, same process. You are using one, you have published the same thing in hard copy form and put the same thing in electronic form. That is, you have published one paper in a print form, something another paper you have published in an online platform, because you know that if it is published in a print form, it is only available to me and some few faculty members. It is not available in nationwide. But if I put it in the online platform, it is available in the nationwide. So there is a chance that I will got. Okay. So that is why there is chance there is a duplicate and overlapping publication. Okay. So that means that is the most important. Sometimes it is called redundant, somewhere it is a duplicate or overlapping. Whatever may be the terminology you are using, the same thing. Okay. Now, in case of duplicate and overlapping publication, other than this redundant publication, redundant means totally copy and paste from others. Now, what happened in respect of duplicate publication or overlapping publication, there is a slight difference is that. What is the slight difference? A minor line of difference. The minor line of difference is that some new data you can incorporate in the preliminary part of your article. You can slightly change the title. You can slightly incorporate some new things in the introduction. Earlier, the literature you have done 10 literature, you are keeping the same 10 literature, but you can incorporate additional 2 literature. Or you can keep 8 literature and exclude the 2 and incorporate some new 2. Okay, so that means somehow tactfully you try to manipulate the situation. And when you are doing this, you are entered into the process of an unethical practice called duplicate publication. Now question arises. Okay, how to avoid such kind of duplicate publication? Is there any rule? Yes, there are certain things as a researcher that we can follow in order to overcome this issue. Okay, now what are those issues? We can make full disclosure about any previous submission, whether we have submitted it somewhere. If yes, then we have to see. Okay, that means before submitting my paper in a very good journal, we have to disclose everything about our earlier paper. Or we can cite all our papers that as a part of our reference, or in cited the papers. If it is in the same area, we can put it so that people can see, oh, the author has already written papers and that is being used. That means cited all the related papers. Okay, including those submitted but not yet received, accepted. Okay, that you have taken something from the unpublished article, the sent for publication but not yet receive any kind of confirmation. So you can also use those things for the purpose of publication. Okay, so at the time of submission, you should disclose the details of the related papers, even in a different language. You can say, sir, I am writing my thesis in English. Why I will write a particular paper that I have written in, suppose, in some other language, Indian language. Okay, better you can put, because otherwise you are clear from your end. Why you will play victim of any situation. Okay, so that is very important. My suggestion, what is, if you ask me, what is the suggestion? Your you should you should put great you should put greater emphasis on quality rather than on quantity. You can put greater emphasis on quality rather than the quantity of publication. In that possible way, you can overcome the problem of this duplicate and overlapping publication. Okay, case 4. When we talk about salami slicing. Okay, now you know that in the present situation in Indian context, in the academic arena, we have a huge pressure from our academic institution to project ourselves, okay, as a most vibrant researcher. Okay, and so automatically what happened, to portray ourselves researcher very frequently, we try to add some unethical means or unfair mechanism of salami slicing. It is very prominent in respect of a PhD thesis. Okay, what happened? You have done your PhD, just recently awarded. So you are planning to publish this particular thesis in the form of an edited book along with your mentor from a reputed publishing house. Okay. Now that you can do, you can take the permission from your mentor. You can also take the permission officially from your department, because that is very important. I have seen so many people, they have neither taken any permission from the department, published the research paper and the thesis in the form of an edited book. But that is not desirable. It is not your only property. It is the property of your mentor. It is the property of your institution. It is the property of your department. So you are not solely responsible for this. Yes, you are the creator. But the thing is that when it is officially available to the public in a public domain, you have to take permission from your department. Otherwise, you are adopting some unethical practice. Now, what happened then? At that time, you try to do anything. You try to create more, generate more papers out of it. And by virtue of that, you try to cut the slice of this particular thesis into several pieces, 2, 3, 4. From the literature, you can publish one. From the initial 100 samples, you are publishing one. Taking the 500 samples, you are publishing a book. 300 samples you have collected when you have making another article publication. Okay, so that means you are cutting the slice of the paper, the thesis, into its numerous part. That is called, this slicing is called salami publication or salami slicing. Okay, so unlike duplicate publication, okay, it also involves the representation of the exact same data into 2 or more publication. That just like that you have adopted earlier cases in respect of duplicate redundant publication. Here you are doing the same thing. You are using the same data and making it 2 or more publication. Okay, so that is very important. That is very important for us to understand which one is good, which one is bad. So we try to avoid the concept of this salami slicing because it is not at all desirable. Okay, so what we have to do as a scholar, what is our suggestion, how we can overcome this particular issue? Okay, our suggestion is that we try to avoid the breaking up of data from the original article into 2 or more papers. Why not? Based on our literature review, we can go for a bibliometric analysis. We can use a different software, qualitative software, for the purpose of generating a new kind of paper that I can incorporate as a part of my research program, because I have to publish 2 papers. Okay, if I'm not wrong, earlier. Okay, now though it is being withdrawn, so there is no need to show us any publication right now. So we can, at least earlier we have 2 publications that we have to show during the time of our thesis submission. So we try to, the way we can overcome. Point number 1, we can say that we can avoid the breaking up, slicing of our original article into 2 or more papers. Okay, we should be very transparent while submitting a paper to a particular journal or in a national conference or international conference. Okay, and at the time of submission, you should disclose the details of your related manuscript. Okay, or those manuscript which is right now under consideration by the particular journal publishing house. If you can do that, by virtue of that, definitely you can overcome the problem of salami slicing. Okay. Now coming to the next part, data fabrication. So this is another important thing. During this manipulation process, research fraud, okay, this data fabrication can be done. Okay, data can be fabricated, data can be falsified, any possible way that you can use. This is called one kind of misutilization of the data. Now in this context, what happened? Sometime what happened? I have not taken a particular image of my own. I have taken it from the Google image and automatically use a particular software which is called deepfakes. Deepfakes, with the help of this deepfakes, are one kind of deep learning artificial intelligence software. But with this, we can automatically reimpose the image, the same likelihood of a one person with another in a given in a different situation or a different video. Okay, we can manually change the particular person, the background of it, and so many things we can do with the help of this deepfake technology. That is more prominent in the field of geography, in the field of archaeology, anthropology. Okay, that we can do. So that is very common. So we try to avoid this kind of mechanism because these are also creating a problem for us. Okay, so that is our case 5. So in the case 5, what happened? I also try to mention this point, that are we aware of this Creative Commons license? Okay, so that is also very important for us to understand. But unfortunately, we are not aware of all those things. Okay, suppose I am searching particular image. I want to incorporate the image in our dissertation. Whether I am aware of all those symbols. CC means Creative Commons license. CC0 is the most commonly available option for a scholar. That is, CC0 means, or CCO, which means that is this particular picture or a particular thing which is available in a Google image. It is given up by the original creator. Okay, that means it is already uploaded by the creator, in the Google, and it is available worldwide. Anyone without any kind of taking authentic permission from the creator, they can use it for commercial or non-commercial purpose. So here you need not to take any kind of permission for the purpose of using those things. But better, my suggestion, whatever you are taking from any public domain, you please go by CC BY. CC BY means the Creative Commons license, where if you are taking some picture from someone, please give credit to the original creator. So BY here refers to with the symbol of a human being. It means give credit to the original creator. There may be some other options that are also available. I'm not going all detail about it. Okay, generally I take a separate session for this portion because CC BY NCND. Okay, what is CC BY NCND? CC means Creative Commons license. BY means give credit to the original creator. That means after the picture, below the provide the link, so that if we try to go for checking this particular thing, I can click on it by virtue of this hyperlink and I can go to the original image. So that is called creative BY. BY means give credit to the original creator. And NC and ND means non-commercial and no adoption is permitted. NC means non-commercial and ND means no adoption. No one can adopt the particular picture, okay, without any kind of permission, and that cannot be used for any public or for commercial purpose or non-commercial purpose. Okay, while CC BY ND means CC BY means give credit to the creator. Okay, and here ND means that no adoption of the work. You cannot use the particular picture in any possible way. That means it is being restricted. Okay, but here when CC BY SA means, CC BY SA means you can take it, you can use it, you can modify to some extent by virtue of any software, and you can use it, provided you must give below the picture the original creator name, who has the original creator, the link of the original creator, but you can change somehow the color, the background, if anything. Okay, but you have to give credit to the original creator. So that is called CC BY SA. What is CC BY NC? It is called again Creative Commons license, where you have responsibility to give credit to the original creator. But NC means non-commercial user. That means this particular picture you can use it for non-commercial purpose, but not for commercial purpose. So in that way, we must aware of the use of this Creative Commons license if this but something is available in the public domain and we are using it randomly. Okay, so these things are very important for us to understand. Case 6, we have 7 possible case. So we are talking about case 6. Okay, the manipulating of the data image. I have already talked about that such things are possible during our defects that we can do. So we can also go for this manipulating the data image. Data can be manipulated knowingly, intentionally, okay, so that we can take the benefit out of it. Such manipulation of this image of data can be do in the different possible manner. Okay, like image tempering. Image can be tempered by a virtue of this software like defects. Okay, so you can use some of the, it is also very prominent in respect of biological science. You can rechange the earlier the original size of the creator as per the Creative Commons license is concerned is small, but you need a very big picture. So by virtue of using some software, you try to enlarge the picture. Okay, so manipulating the data image. Using the same image in order to represent it result from a multiple experience. You have seen that some of the cases that is being reflected where some of the scientists are being caught that even though the experiment is not being done, they are not being done properly, but these pictures they have taken from someone else and represent as their own, and automatically they have been penalized for that. Okay, so these are some of the things of manipulation or another distortion of this visual representation of the data by enhancing the color brightness. Original picture which was taken by the creator, which is not so bright, but by virtue of using some software, you are enhancing the brightness of this particular picture and put it this as the thing that it is your own creation. So this is one kind of also a part of it, which is called manipulating the data image. This is also totally illegal in this case. So crop, what we can suggest, I can suggest to all of you, if you want to crop something, crop within an acceptable limit. Don't go beyond that. Okay. As an author, you must provide the original unprocessed image and the image you have enhanced for the purpose of making the clarity. Provided you must aware of this issue. The Creative Commons license, CC by SA, NC, ND, and public domain. Okay. Adjustment of brightness if you have made or contrast you have made, it is also only acceptable if you apply equally of the entire image. That means suppose you want to make a brightness of the image. So are you applying this brightness only a certain part of the image or for the entire image? Do it for the entire image. You cannot apply only for a small part of it to highlight that portion. Otherwise, you are undertaking a scientific misconduct. You are involved in the process of unethical uh, research fraud. Okay, so this is very important for us to understand. Okay, last case, when we talk about publication, often you can ask me that last part of it. Yes, when you are talking me when you are asking me that, sir, you have talking as redundant publication, overlapping publication, so how we can came across that it is a predatory publication? Sometimes we are in hurry that we have to publish, and by for this reason we have to put the paper in a particular journal. I came across the name of a particular journal and automatically I send the paper. Okay, so how I know that it's a predatory publication house? Okay, they may have an unprofessional layout, maybe they may have not appropriate editorial board member. They do not have an appropriate processing of the your research, valuable research article that you have contributed so far. Okay, and then they can immediately send you the reply within 24 hours. They send immediate reply within 24 hours. Okay, they are not following the policy which was framed by COPE or WAME. Okay, these are things. They are also charging the article processing charge. They lack of copyright clarity. They have some misleading fake impact factor like global impact factor, scientific journal impact factor, and such type of fake metrics, fake journal. They are neither. So these things are there, and automatically within 24 hours you are getting reply that your paper has been accepted for publication. So all those things lead to a predatory. So when they arise, that means they are working on a pay to publish, pressure to publish, and automatically there arise, you pay and then we will publish. So what we will do if I fall victim into it, if I have seen those things here. So we have to check as a scholar that whether the journals are legit or not. Whether the journals are legit or not, we have to see the following parameters. Whether this is listed in the DOAJ or not, whether it is listed in Ulrich periodical directory or not, whether it is being, this publishing house is a member of OSPA or not, Open Access Scholarly Publisher Association or not. We can also see that whether the journal is listed in the fake journal list or not, which was given by the Bells. Okay, so if we see, let's see that how it will work. Can you see this particular window that I have opened so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
We can
if you
see that.
see the Bales list, this list is right now is not active. It was an earlier list that is prepared by Jeffrey Bell, okay, in a couple of years ago. So this is a containing the list of all fake journals, okay, including the journals from India, which is available still in the website called Bell's list. Okay. Now what happened then? In that situation, what we can do, since we do not have this option to go for it, we can also taken care of another important issue. If institutionally we can purchase this particular website, which is also called, see, Cable International. Now if the institution purchase this Cable International, you just go beyond that, you can find out In the Cable International, we have some predatory reports where the Cable International covers 16,175 name of fake journals, including the journal names from India as well. Okay, in that way. So this is one important thing of this, where if institutionally purchase this thing, we can came across this fake journal. So this is one possible way we can came across the name. Otherwise, what we can do as a scholar, we can enroll ourselves in the UGC care. Okay, the Savitabhai Phule Pune University, where we can enroll once, we can generate a password, and by virtue of the password, we can enter into the UGC care list. We can see the journal listed in Group 1 and Group 2. Now, in respect of Group 1, you know the journals which are publishing from India and which is being, maybe some local publisher or some good publishing house are there. Like, example, like IUP Journal of Marketing Management, I have seen ACMS Journal, or so many other things are there. Case Folio published by IUP, and so many others are part of this Group 1 listed journal. Group 2 listed journal are focused on published by Sage, published by InterScience, published by Emerald, published by Willy, from in association with some of the Indian institutes, IITs, IIMs, or some top business schools in India. Okay, or some state or central level universities. Or you can also find out some of the journals which are listed in Scopus and Web of Science. But since this part is not mine, this part, how to find out right journal and to access it, it's not part of my session. So that is why I'm restricting myself up with this and hand over the session to the authority once again. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to. Okay, another thing I forget to share with all of you. Suppose you have submitted a paper in a fake journal, what you will do as a scholar? Suppose you came to know that you have done a mistake because you have submitted multiple submission, and out of this multiple submission, one is a good journal, one is a fake journal. What you can do immediately? So you can send a mail immediately to the editorial board of this predatory journal, mentioning that you try to withdraw the paper immediately from their journal. But if they do not respond, but if they send you the copyright, my suggestion is that don't sign any copyright agreement. But if without signing any copyright agreement, they publish it, then the mail that you have already submitted to them act as a valid response, valid document on your part that this is the thing I have not done. Without my several intimation, they have published my paper in their fake journal. Okay, even I have not signed the copyright. But generally, if you are not signing any copyright or if you are not paying any money, they will not publish your paper. Or better, you can use some of the journal selectors like Shimako Journal Rank, okay, Willy Journal Finder, Springer Nature Journal Suggester, all those things. All those you can use for the better accessibility of the papers. Okay, with this, I am ending my session. I'm handing over the session again to the authority or it is an open session for everyone. If you have any question, if you have any query, you can ask me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful session. Now I will request our eminent participants to, if they have any doubt or query, they can ask the question, they can unmute themselves, and they can ask from our today's resource person. And or they can even write their question in the chat box. From there, I'll read their questions. Sir, we have one question from Sunil Kumar. Are there is any chance of occurrence of research deception in case of basic research, which are based on some formula that are conducted by the scientific community since many years?
See, basic research is a fundamental research. Actually, it is not within my periphery, because it is within the domain of. If you can ask me the question in the domain of this portion, then but I can say that for the basic research, something uniqueness must be there, because basic research is deal with the fundamentals of research. So if you can talk to your mentor. If you have some uniqueness, automatically, like it may be of sometimes what we said, that research, it means it must have 100-page or 200-page thesis, but not necessary. It must carry a 100, 200 page, does not signify anything. I hope that to what extent it is unique, to what extent it will give an insight into the process. This is very important. Page, words, whether it is 10,000 or 20,000 words, it is immaterial.
Okay. Yes, if any participant has any questions.
Hello, am I
Yeah,
audible?
Ankita ma'am, you
Yeah,
are audible. Yes, please.
yeah, it's Ankita Kumari, PhD scholar from Mahatma Gandhi Central University. Sir, you explained very well in spite of having a virtual platform. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I have some questions apart from the evening sessions. Uh, one question is that about the paraphrasing. So, up to what percent can be paraphrased? First question is, and second question is that, as you said about the bibliometric analysis, sir, I am very curious to know about the bibliometric analysis because I thought to write a bibliometric analysis based paper, sir. Sir, I meant to say how to conduct a bibliometric analysis means what are the best ways to do
There
bibliometric
is,
analysis, sir?
actually, ma'am, you can go and search through some courses online, YouTube technical session available. You can also if you have some friends in your who are very much expertise in the domain of NVivo application. There is software called NVivo.
In
Okay,
vivo.
NVivo, capital N, then Vivo, VIVO, NVivo.
Okay,
With the help of this NVivo software, you can also go for this extensive bibliometric analysis. That you
okay,
can,
okay, okay, sir. Thank you so much.
yes.
Sir, we have one more question in the chat box from Anant Sharma. Sir, his question is: the policymakers use salami slicing strategy or not? He wants to know.
Policymakers, yes. Can you repeat?
Sir, I'm repeating it once again. The policymakers use salami slicing strategy or not?
Policymakers, who is a policymaker? Everything you have to decide along with your mentor. If you're okay, that is the most important thing. Like in a salami slicing, what happened? You are subdividing your thesis into several parts. Okay, so that is very important. When you are subdividing your thesis along with your, you must disclose the entire thing with your mentor. That is very important because if you are not discussing the problems that you have with your mentor, automatically it will create a problem. So can I do that? Can I, based on my the literature, can I go for bibliometric analysis? If sir, your sir or madam said yes, then you can go for it. You can apply some new software and you can publish a paper. You can, for the entire paper that you have developed in the form of a thesis, you can publish in the form of an edited book with due permission from your mentor as well as from your department. There is no wrong about it. That you can do. And see, the thing is that during the course of your PhD, okay, if you attempt 4 or 10 international conference or publish 5 or 6 publication, it has no use. If it is being specified that you have to go for 2 publication or at least 1 conference presentation, only restrict yourself on with this. Why? Because if any additional papers that you have published so far, alone or along with your mentor at that time, it will in your academic career, it will not count it. That papers will be counted after you completion of or awarded your PhD degree. That is the most important thing. Okay, so my suggestion is that restrict yourself, focus concentrating on your thesis, and then focus on, if it is given your department or university or specific institution that you have to publish 2 paper, focus on only these 2 publication and 1 presentation, not go more than that. Okay, because it will not enhance your credibility in your curriculum vitae, because in particularly in your academic institution, because they will never count those papers. They will count only the papers pre PhD program and post PhD. During the PhD, they will consider only these 2 paper and the presentation as notified by your university from time to time. I hope it is clear to everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Uh, yes, if anyone else is having any question, they can unmute themselves.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Uh, Apart from it, sir, I want some suggestion outside this. So, may I? What are the methods that I can consult you?
What are the methods?
Yeah, communication method.
For communication methods, it's not clear. Research-based method, or you want to
No, no,
communicate?
sir. I want some suggestions apart from this session. Will you provide me some suggestions apart from this session?
Oh,
I think,
I
sir,
have,
Vikas wants to contact you for his
oh,
Yeah.
some.
see,
Okay.
I have given my number in the chat box, if you have seen.
Okay, sir.
So please, if you have some query, I'm always with all of you. If you have any query, any suggestion, any support that you want to receive from my end, you are always welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else is having any doubt or query? So I have just one question because, yeah, Anant, please, you have raised your hand. Please unmute yourself. You can ask from your question from sir.
Sir, I am audible.
Yeah,
Yes,
Anant, you are audible.
yes.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is penalty related issues है ये. Penalty related issue will be highlighted या not highlighted in case of repeated plagiarism या overlapping publishing.
Can you repeat 1 second? The problem actually is not clear
Yes,
to
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Penalty related issue will be highlighted या not highlighted in case of repeated plagiarism या overlapping publishing.
Whether it is part of plagiarism or not, in respect of repeated or overlapping case, that you wants to
Yes.
that is the question.
My question is penalty related issue will
I
be highlighted या
I
not.
IT related issue.
No, sir.
Penalty related issue.
Penalty related issue.
Yes, penalty related issue. Okay. Actually, the sound is not clear to me. The penalty related issue. Okay, see, the thing is that two things, I am not going detail because you have a separate session for plagiarism. Okay, actually what happened in a plagiarism, okay, now in respect of plagiarism, the responsibility of the institution to focus only on the dissertation, okay, and dissertation related issue. It is not being implemented across India, but there is a suggestion that they can go for DAIP, Departmental Academic Integrity Panel, or Institutional Academic Integrity Panel, to look after any problems pertaining to plagiarism. But in India, I don't think that we have this type of panel. Those who are looking after this DAIP and IAP is being implemented. Maybe down the line, in all the institution is going to implement, but still it is lacking. Maybe they are preparing a plan for that. So that is the thing. But what happened then for overlapping and this plagiarism penalty issue was not there. If any particular institute, suppose you have sent a particular paper there in a particular journal, and that journal communicating the matter to your institution regarding the plagiarized portion which was detected by the journal and notified your dean or directors, then automatically it is a discretion on the part of the dean or directors to take some steps, disciplinary steps against the faculty or the research scholar. Otherwise, not. Nothing is being specified here in this context, nor the UGC nor the COPE.
Uh, uh,
Thank you.
Chandan sir,
Yeah,
Chandan,
Naveen. Yeah.
good evening, sir. Sir, I am Naveen Singh, research scholar in Mahatma Gandhi Central University. We are in first year, and sir, I just want to ask, just you was talking about that there is a process of listing yourself in the UGC website, so that you can download the UGC care list,
No.
authentic.
Downloading. No, Naveen, here the thing is that you can create a password of your own. Then
Okay, sir.
automatically you can go to the UGC care list portal, click into
Okay,
it, give your name, mail ID, and include your password that you have created so far with the UGC care
okay,
with Savitri Phule University. Enter into their particular web link, okay, particular
okay,
UGC portal. Then automatically you can see on both sides, care 1 and care 2 list of journals are there. You can click on it,
okay,
okay. So from that you can search for your particular journal. After a certain period of
okay,
time, you can be again you have to rejoin the particular portal once again, because there are some certain times period they are giving. After that, again you have to
Okay.
rejoin. In a continuous way,
Okay.
it is being monitored actually.
So there
Okay.
are many kind of proxy sites who just copy of UGC.
No,
So
yes,
how I can find
yes.
out that the authentic
No.
UGC?
Why you will go for that? You can create a password, and you can go to join this UGC care
Okay.
portal. No, better. You can
Okay.
get the appropriate current knowledge. Even if you go and enter in the UGC care, you can also find out the journal with a fake name. Okay,
Yes,
journal
sir.
with a fake name. It is also being displayed by the Savitabhai Phule Pune University in the UGC care list. And also, it will be
Okay.
useful for you and all the scholars. Why you
Sir,
depends
if
on? Yes.
if that from that journal list, if some journal want some kind of money to publish
That
around
depends on, that depends on their policy actually. Mane,
okay.
but you don't see as per the on the date when you are submitting the papers. If it is being listed
Mm,
in the UGC care, then it is okay, no problem. At the time of
okay.
publication, if it is being listed in the UGC care, because once it was listed, at least it will stay for 1 year minimum at least. Okay, then
Okay.
it will be verified and then discontinued the particular journal by the UGC care.
Okay.
So
Okay, sir. Yeah, sir.
that is the thing.
Okay, sir. Sir, there is one doubt. Is someone some of my colleagues said कि there's ISSN number is necessary instead of ISBN number. This kind
See,
of these two
see,
number.
yes,
So
for
if a journal have two numbers, then they
no, no, no,
the
no, no,
authentic
no.
authentic.
Actually, what happened, Naveen,
Okay.
for journals we have only ISSN. For book we have ISBN. This
Okay.
there
Okay,
are two
sir.
separate portal. For if you wants to publish of your journal, suppose you wants to publish a particular book, so you have to take an ISSN number. You can apply to the ISSN directly for self getting an ISSN number, or you can also get it from Amazon as well. So these are various process that we have. Okay, for ISBN automatically we have different site where you can apply for ISBN for edited book, or for textbook, or for reference. That is any kind of book you can go for ISBN, but only for journals you have an ISSN without fail. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we
I
have
have one more question, sir.
Yes, you can
Uh,
use your published paper in your thesis. If
I
you
have one more question.
if you can give a proper referencing and citation, then automatically you can use it. No problem. Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Ankita.
Sir, which is the best plagiarism detection free software for the researchers? Is there any trusted site or a free software, sir?
Free software is not there actually, ma'am. So what we have Turnitin. Okay, we have Turnitin. We have Urkund. We can authenticate software, which are considered to be one of the best software, published software. Otherwise, you can depends on some of the software which is freely available. Some are free, some are paid. Okay, that you can do. Some are
But
free and
can
some are.
it be trusted?
Which one?
Can it be trusted, sir? Free software.
Pre-submission, see, I don't know what is the policy that you have in your institution. In our what happened in our college, what happened that we have to the people has to submit the thesis finally. They have to submit the thesis, and then automatically it will go for plagiarism checking by the institution, not by the scholar. Or it is not the responsibility of the scholar to check the plagiarism. In our postgraduate level also, we never allow our scholars to check. We are check through institutional repository, and then automatically we can send the report to them. If there is some kind of plagiarized portion of there, according to the norms we will follow the rule.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
But you can use some of the free software like Viper software, plagiarism checker. Okay, so many other software are, some are paid and some part are free. So you can utilize the free part, but provided if you have some friends or if you have some other people, you communicate with them, and then automatically you can use a authenticate or turn it in, so that you can check the plagiarism portion. And you talk about the paraphrasing actually. In respect of
Yes.
paraphrasing, what happened? Paraphrase is allowed by UGC. Paraphrase is allowed, but provided you have appropriate citation. When you go for paraphrasing, keep the essence of the original creator, original researcher, what he or she has written. If you have to maintain that only thing, okay, then only you can go for this paraphrasing. And in respect of paraphrasing, I have not shown this slide actually because it is not within my preview of this lecture. In this, actually, what happened in this paraphrasing, at the end of this paraphrase word sentence, you have to write the citation, and that citation is called parenthetical citation as per the APA format is concerned. Parenthetical citation at the end of this paraphrasing. So paraphrasing with parenthetical citation is a very welcome note from the scholar during write-up the development of their thesis.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, what is your opinion on Grammarly software premium version, which is cost around 13,000 per year? So
I'm not
we
aware
should
of this.
use that.
No, no,
Also,
I'm
you
not
have
aware
not,
of this. I'm not aware of this. If I
because
we
that is also shows in the plagiarism software.
provided we generally we use in our institution authenticate or Turnitin. Okay, we generally use
Turnitin.
authenticate. Yes, this is one of the, or you can use UGC recommended Urkund or other trusted software. Okay, so
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
better you can use these two or for the purpose of checking.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So thank you, sir. This session was really interactive and insightful. Now moving ahead, ma'am, shall we go for the vote of thanks?
Yes, Chandan, please continue.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So first of all, we would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, for his continuous guidance and blessings. We would also like to thank our Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor G. Gopala Reddy, for his insight and motivating us continuously. I would also like to thank our Honorable Dean, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, School of Commerce and Management Sciences, Professor Dr. Pavnesh Kumar, Sir. I would also like to thank our Honorable Head of Department, Professor Sudhir Kumar Sahu, Sir, for continuous help and guidance. I would also like to thank Dr. Alka Lalhal, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Sciences, Mahatma Gandhi Central University, Bihar, for always being with us. I would also like to thank our today's resource person, Dr. Sumanta Dutta, sir. It is really a matter of privilege and honor to have such an eminent intellectual with us. Sir, thank you for sparing your valuable time and for gracing this session. Last but not the least, it is a matter of immense pleasure and honor to have such a wonderful audience. The session would not have been interactive and successful without your presence. Thank you to all.
Thank you. I am very much thankful to each and every member who are present today, right now, and interacting with me to make the session more interactive. I'm grateful to all. I'm grateful to Mahatma Gandhi Central University Department of Management, Alka ma'am, Chandan, and we have, where is our Siddharth? So Siddharth is also coordinating with me throughout the entire, before I join the session. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now, with these words, I will request our program co-coordinator, Dr. Alka Lalhal, ma'am, to allow us to end the session. Ma'am, shall
Uh,
we end?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Datta. Thank you so much for such an wonderful and insightful session. It was really a learning experience for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. With your
Thank you,
permission,
sir.
I'm
Thank
leaving
you,
the
sir.
session. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Uh, I will request our participants to please be on time in the tomorrow's morning session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.